for you, man.
All right.
We'll go right up to the front.
All right.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Please excuse my voice, but I figured if LeBron could play a game last night, I could at least show up here. Welcome. It's great to have such a big crowd here, people from campus and people from beyond campus, as we celebrate another historic moment in the proud tradition of Alvernia athletics, and another great event in what's been an exciting year at the university. We might remember back in the fall, we announced a new main entrance for the university that's now getting finished with the road through Angelica Park. We announced the most ambitious project in our history, the Recreation, Wellness, and Health Sciences Complex on the new East Campus, and we did announce football. And today we take the next important step with that football announcement, with the announcement of our inaugural head football coach at Alvernia University. Before we get to the main event, I want to just say a word of thanks to the staff, faculty, and students who are on the advisory committee, working with Bill Stiles, our athletic director, John McCluskey, our vice president, in this process. They did a terrific job, and Bill and John, as usual, have provided extraordinary leadership. Unlike them, I did not look at the hundreds of applications or screen the top candidates, but I did interview the 4 finalists. They were all extraordinarily impressive, very, very experienced, very competent, obviously people who could do the job. But unlike the first time when I was involved in hiring a head football coach in my first presidency, this time we're hiring someone to start a football program and to build a championship football culture at a values-based Division III university that plays in the most prestigious Division III conference in the country, the MAC conference. So we know we're looking for some special things. We're looking for a man of character as well as competence. We're looking for a person of principle as well as passion. We're looking for someone who will enhance the mission of this distinctive Franciscan university, and we're looking for someone who will represent the university well on and beyond the campus. We are very confident that we have found that person, and it's my great pleasure to turn to Bill Stiles for the introduction. Bill?
Well, let me add my thanks to you for being here on this very historic day. As Dr. Flynn said, obviously we had a great pool of candidates. We put those candidates through a pretty rigorous interview process. They spent the better part of a day and a half here with us, and I want to thank and acknowledge the search committee. So those members here, I'm going to call you by name. Laura Gingrich was on the search committee. She's in Bermuda with a field hockey team, so obviously she couldn't be here, but I think she's doing okay. Dan Hartzman, Dan I know is here. Dan, thank you so much for your service. Carolina Dreyer, Karen Cameron, Polly Mathis, and Tom Perazzo were the faculty members on the committee. Tom Minnick, and we had 2 student representatives on the committee. Cameron Coons, who's a baseball student athlete, who is also the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, served on the search committee, and so did Jenna Harper, who's not only a women's lacrosse student athlete, but also an SGA officer. So thank you so much to the search committee for the unbelievable work you did to get us to this point. I want to also thank John McCluskey, Dr. Flynn, for your support and your leadership throughout this process. Certainly, again, I say this often, but we are very, very lucky to have you leading us. Your vision is exemplary. Thank you so much. I want to thank Ken Andrews, the MAC Executive Director, for being here today. John Hauer, the Director of Media Relations for the Mid-Atlantic Conference, is also here. But thanks so much for being here, guys. Appreciate it. I want to welcome Ralph's family, his wife Lisa, sons Quincy and Harrison, and his in-laws Joyce and Barry Shirk. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the Alvernia family. We stood outside in October in some pretty nice weather as compared to today. One of the things we talked about, why would Alvernia add football? And we talked about two things specifically. The first was to enhance an already strong athletic culture. And I think throughout the reference checking, throughout the process, one of the things we found that Ralph is the ultimate team player. He was integrated on every campus that he's been. In fact, one of the athletic directors at the institution told us that he was more well-liked on campus than he was as the athletic director. So, again, that seems to be a strength of Ralph at any of his stops. We're also very impressed with Ralph's commitment to academic success. Ralph was able to outline what he called his academic game plan in the materials that he presented to us, and that came up in the open campus session. And obviously, he is committed to academics first for the football staff. What made Ralph the right fit for Alvernia University, and Dr. Flynn touched on this, he's a man of great faith, great character, and great integrity, first and foremost, and that was very important to us. And that was very obvious to all of us who participated in the interview process. Ralph has great passion, great enthusiasm, and a dynamic personality. Anybody who was sitting in this room during the open campus session probably wanted to put a helmet on like I did and go out and run through a wall. So you'll see that in a little bit, not to put too much pressure on you, but you'll see that in a little bit, and we'll certainly see how he's had a proven track record of recruiting success. No doubt if, I felt myself sitting there thinking as a parent getting ready to send my 17-year-old to play football somewhere, I felt like, I'd want him to play for that guy. So again, that was something that really came through during the open session. Ralph's preparation stood out to the committee. He was able to articulate a 30-day plan, a 60-day plan, a 90-day plan, a recruiting plan. His preparation was impeccable. Ralph played in a startup program at Robert Morris, so he can certainly appreciate some of the unique challenges that we're going to face as a startup program, and also come at them from a unique perspective as a player. He's a student athlete on the other side of that, so I think that'll give us an advantage over having gone through that as a student athlete himself. Ralph has a history of program improvement. When he was at Millersville, the defense went from ranked last in the PSAC to the top 5 and number 2 against the pass. If anybody knows anything about the PSAC, where they're throwing the ball all over the place, that's pretty amazing that they went from last to number 2 against the pass. And he did the same thing in just one short year at Seton Hill University, also in the PSAC, where he took them from last to the top 10 and improved by almost 90 yards a game. So he has a history of program improvement. He has been a defensive coordinator at all 3 levels. He's been a defensive coordinator at the Division I FCS level, Division II level, and the Division III level at Rose-Hulman out in Indiana. And he was mentored by some of the best coaches in America through participation selection and participation in the NCAA NFL Coaches Academy. So he's certainly prepared to be here. Without any further ado, it gives me unbelievable pleasure to introduce the first head football coach in the history of Alvernia University, Ralph Clark.
I tell you what, he didn't give me much to live up to, did he? Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Is everybody excited to be here? You should be. It's historic. All right? This is why we're here. Right? This is why we're here. I'm very honored, blessed, and highly favored to be here. I truly am in this historic time. There's no other place I'd rather be right now, and I can't. I'm doing a good job right now holding my emotions in. Okay, I want to start, and I'm going to do this first because I'm married, and if you're married, you understand. I'm going to thank my wife first because I'm allowed to do this, guys. If you don't understand that, you're not married. You will. Okay. So my wife allows me to go and pursue my dream and she supports me 100%, and she keeps our family intact. So, Lisa, I want to thank you so very much for this. I want to make sure I thank Dr. Flynn for seeing something in me and entrusting me with building this program from scratch, and seeing in me the values that you want to see in the young men that we're going to put out on the field here in 2018. All right. I want to thank Dr. McCluskey and Bill Stiles. I want to thank you guys for doing your due diligence and the preparation and the research that you guys have put in, as well as the enthusiasm that you put in to research and going out to find what it is that is needed to start a program of this magnitude in this conference, in this division, Division III. So I think you two need to be applauded for your hard work. I want to thank everyone that was on the hiring committee and all of the campus community that came out in the open forum, or anybody that I met on campus were so gracious and hospitable throughout this process. You made me feel at home even before I got here, and really just even heightened that want to be here. Okay, so I want to thank you as well. I know nobody here has ever heard of me, so I know you're probably thinking, who is Ralph Clark? And what a funny name, Ralph Clark. It's one syllable, right? One syllable each. To put it simple, I'm a man of faith, all right? I put my Christianity and my faith and my Catholic beliefs before everything, all right? That is what comes first for me. And after that comes my family, okay? Those are the most important things to me in my life. And everything that I do is driven off of that, whether it's work, whether it's out in my daily life. Those are the things that drive me. They drive me to be better, all right, every day. Okay, and those are the characteristics that I try to instill in young men on a daily basis. That's what I've committed my life to, my life's work. Okay, I'm a kid. I'm from Washington, D.C. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s. Okay, I come from a single-family home, single-parent home. I watched my mother work 3 jobs to provide for me. And from that, I learned hard work, sacrifice, and dedication, to never stop until you get to where you want to be. And then when you get to where you want to be, you work a little harder. So I've taken that from her lead, and that has really driven me to be who I am today. And I look back on that childhood, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Okay? This process, okay, this has been a wild couple of months here. And I'm not the type to look for jobs. I believe in working the job you have, being the best at it, okay, and loving where you are. I just happened to come across this, that the Alvernia was starting up football, so I decided to do a little research. I put that research off, I got to be honest to you, until the season started to come to a close. But I wanted to know a little bit more about the school, because I didn't dive right into it. And I looked at the school, and I found that it was a Catholic university, Franciscan beliefs, okay? I identified with that, okay? Looked at the academic excellence, all right? I identified with that. I looked at the athletic excellence. I identified with that. And then I told my wife, I said, baby, I think this is something that I want to do. And she knows the phone call she got. I was working at Seton Hill in Greensburg, and she's back in Lancaster. I said, I think this is something I want to do. I want to go after. And she said, go get it. True story. She said, go get it. So I put the application in, and I did some more research, and we go through the process. And talking on the phone, I talked to Bill. And all the things that they were looking for here is what I wanted to be a part of, okay? So we went a little further in that process, and I got on campus. And I'll tell you, the people here are amazing. And the one thing that stood out, I shouldn't say the one thing, there's 2 things that stood out. All right, when I pulled on campus, first of all, and you come up that new entrance, I had to stop the car, and I pulled over, and I called my wife again. I said, family first. And I said, baby, this is amazing. All right, this is phenomenal. It's beautiful here, And the other thing that stood out through the entire process was the word family kept coming up. Family, family, family. If you're going to build anything, whether it's business, whether it's athletics, family had better be somewhere in your values. All right? I treat every player that I've ever coached like family. They're one of my kids. Once I'm your coach, I'm always your coach. Till the day I die, I'm your coach. Okay? Every kid that I've ever coached has been around my family, my wife, my kids. All right? I've had most of them in my house. Okay? Because they're family. I want them to know that it's not just about the athletics. It's about life. I want to prepare them for life. I care about them. I want them to be successful. So that family, it really hit home with me. And when I left here, I called my wife again. I said, this is it. I do a lot of calling my wife. All right? I said, this is it. This is what I want. So there was a 2-week period there before you find out. And I'm like, man, this is what I want. This is really what I want. And she said, you can calm down anytime now. Okay? So that was the process. The plan, moving forward. Okay? Everybody's talking about football. Everybody's excited. The question is, how do we do it? Well, I'm going to tell you how we do it. Okay? I'm excited to hit the ground running. So these first 30 days or so, I'm going to be on this campus. I'm going to be meeting everybody that I can possibly meet. I'm going to be at every department meeting that I'm allowed to be at. I want to shake hands. I want people to know who Ralph Clark is. I want them to see the face of Alvernia football. I want them to get comfortable with me. Let them know that they have my support in anything. In anything that you need from us, you have my support. And now I'm going to ask for their support in return. All right? I'm going to get out, coaches of other sports. Yes, I'm going to recruit your athletes. Okay? I'm going to recruit this campus. Okay? Alvernia's never had football before. There's got to be kids that played football in high school that wanted to play football. Okay? You chose Alvernia for the right reasons, for the academics, for the social, because you're a fit here. Okay? Well, now you're going to have an opportunity to play football. Okay? Then I'm going to get out into the local community. I'm going to get into every high school in Berks County. Okay? Every high school. Introduce myself. Go recruit. I want to recruit Alvernia kids. And then we're going to get out into the outlying areas, Lancaster, Lebanon, York, Adams, Chester, Philadelphia, extending out into the Mid-Atlantic region, New Jersey, Delaware, okay, Maryland, D.C., Virginia. I got to recruit home, okay? And we're going to recruit Alvernia kids. Well, what is an Alvernia kid, okay? High character. Got to have character. Got to be high character kid, okay? And they've got to fit the academic mold. We are not going to lower our academic standards, okay? We're going to educate, all right? They're going to be scholar athletes, okay? Scholar athletes, scholar comes first, okay? So they're going to fit the academic mold of Alvernia University, okay? And once they're here, we're going to help mold them, all right? We're going to take them from their parents. They're going to be young men. We're going to develop them into men that are ready to make manly decisions once they leave here, all right? What car to buy, what home to purchase, what woman to marry, okay? We're going to help them make manly decisions. Well, how are you going to do that, okay? Well, it's two-pronged, okay? We have 7 pillars of success. It says hit hard. Has absolutely nothing to do with football. Honesty, integrity, trust, hardworking, accountable, relentlessly pursue whatever it is that you want to do and be diligent in doing it. Hit hard, okay? And then we're going to give them a 3D experience here. Well, what is 3D? You guys know what 3D is, right? If you have kids, you know what 3D is, okay? Well, our 3Ds are a little bit different, all right? We're going to develop you academically. You're going to get a great education here. You're going to get education, and by the time you leave here in 6 months, you're going to have a job, or you're going to be in grad school, med school, law school. You're going to be where you want to be, okay? Then we're going to develop you athletically. We're going to get you bigger, faster, stronger. We're going to build a championship team here, and we're going to give you the tools to be a champion, okay? And then we're going to develop you emotionally, okay? You're going to be active in this community. You're going to be active on this campus, all right? You're going to be someone who can be trusted when you leave here to make manly decisions. And I'm not going to hold you long, but we're going to hit the road running right now. So we're on a mission here at Alvernia, and anybody who's up to the challenge, you're welcome to join us. Thank you.
Just wanted to present you with a commemorative football here. Do a little photo op there. Well, thanks again for everybody being here. We're going to do some press here. Ralph will do some interviews, and then please stick around for some refreshments and to get a chance to meet Coach Clark. But thank you so much again for being here, and again, welcome Coach Clark and his family to the Alvernia family. Thanks again.